Let's stay with the NFL, and let's go to those Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones.
Ew.
Jerry Jones, he's another one. Okay, and let me say this.
Okay.
People, they love to say, oh, well, Jerry, a great businessman, Cowboy, most valuable franchise in sports, blah, 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 blah. They were always, before Jerry bought them, it was about the Cowboys, even before he bought them.
Fair point.
It's almost impossible to botch owning the Cowboys and making money. I'm serious. With the NFL, with the way that franchise, because they haven't made money off of winning, so you can't look at it and go, he built it up, they were nothing, Jerry got there, and he built up the Cowboys, and look at all the money they make. No, it's exact opposite. They continue to lose for the last 30 years, but they keep making money because of the franchise, football, and being in Dallas and the history of it. That happened long before Jerry Jones ever bought the team. But one constant for sure is that since he took over and sent Jimmy Johnson packing, they haven't done anything. And I know they won the one championship with Barry Switzer the year after he left, but that was with Jimmy's team.
Johnson's, yeah.
His team was already there. They had already won a championship. They came back. They ran it back, and they had Barry Switzer at the head, and Barry Switzer didn't do anything. Just keep doing what you were doing last year when y'all won the Super Bowl. All right.
Right.
And then that was it. But did Barry Switzer ever do anything after that? No, he did not.
We ain't seen him since.
We have not. So my point is, Jerry Jones, that the Cowboys are 1-2. Awful performances at home the last two games. Don't forget about that terrible playoff game against Green Bay where they got steamrolled in their own building. They had won 16 straight regular season games, and now they've lost 3 straight.
Yep. In
their building. And don't be fooled by the score against Baltimore. They got dominated, okay? And so they're 1-2, and I guess people are criticizing and saying it's Jerry's fault. And Jerry was so nice to tell everybody that, yeah, he'll take some of the blame.
WFAA TV this morning had a poll, saying who was to blame for the 1-2 start, the players in the field, everything. 70% said that you were the one to blame. Is that fair?
That's very fair. That's very fair. It's well known that no decision is ultimately made there for what I either haven't acquiesced or approved it. That's very fair. How could you think otherwise?
Calvin, I'm going to go this far.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jerry Jones is one of the worst owners in sports. And I know that they had a dynasty when they won 3 out of 4 when he first took over and all that played out. But really, when you think about the money that this franchise has, right? The cachet it has where people would want to play in Dallas. Look at all the quarterbacks. If you go play in Dallas, Tony Romo's making $17, $18 million. He didn't have a great NFL career. He didn't win any Super Bowls. He was a Cowboys quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Dak Prescott making $60 million, hasn't won jack.
All right.
Here's my point.
Yep.
Last point. Jerry hasn't done anything to forward the franchise or to do anything. He has been the one to hurt the franchise. I think he's one of the worst owners in sports. I do.
So, all right. You know how we talk about players and we say, like there's a stuff on the field or off the field or on the court. So I think with Jerry Jones, if we go off the field, if you will, I'm going to disagree with you on the ownership part. Because, listen, you can have something great and that thing can die or that thing can become less relevant. I'm not saying they would fall off the earth. Right. It's Dallas.
What did he do to change the fortunes of the Cowboys? I just want you to give me one example of something Jerry did that was innovative that changed the Cowboys and made them more valuable.
What's the name of that stadium?
AT&T.
No, what do we call it? Don't play with
Jerry's
me.
World?
Jerry's World. We call it Jerry's World. All these events are held there. You talk about what he's done for the league with getting TV deals, not just for Dallas, but for the league.
Did he do it or the league sells itself?
No, but he spearheads. If you listen.
He's on the committee for that.
Right. All groups have leaders. And you hear time and time again that he ends up being the leader leader in the room. They all turn and look to Jerry when there's contract negotiation, bargaining deals, TV deals. How do we handle this, whether you like it or not? I mean, somehow he even got in the middle of the daggone kneeling controversy, right? Is Colin Kaepernick, who's the next most important person we talk about? Jerry Jones. Are the Cowboys going to do this? What do most shows lead with? The Cowboys. I don't give a damn what just happened on a Sunday.
But that don't have nothing to do with Jerry. I'm talking about.
That does have something to do with it. It ain't the players. It ain't the X's and O's.
You can't honestly point to anything is what I'm trying to say when you talk about a team or being innovative or changing somebody's fortune. The Cowboys were always big and always profitable.
And they started
That's my
to
point.
slump and become less relevant.
When?
Not irrelevant, but what nobody think about
During
the Cowboys
Jerry?
in 82, 3, 4, 5 era. Other teams, the 49ers started
They
to
were
take over.
America's team, though. I mean,
And nobody, right. And Rob, as you know, as a business owner, if you don't stay popping, if you don't stay relevant, you can fall off. And if he's done nothing else, he at least keeps them relevant. Now, for the wrong reasons, it ends up being the fact that we're talking about them to no avail, meaning they don't win, they don't do anything. I agree with you on that. But I won't say on the field actions, yes, bad owner, things aren't great. Off the field, I'm not going to act like he hasn't done great for the league and becomes a hot topic. Now let's get to some of the stuff I will say. I was actually shocked to hear him say that's fair, considering just a week or two ago when he was saying, can't nobody do this job as good as me. Ain't no one else as qualified as me. You know, I know what I'm talking about. I've been in every position. I know what the game needs. I know what this team needs. So I'm actually shocked to hear him turn around and say, that's fair. That blew me away, to be honest with you. Now, what makes the Cowboys a bad situation is, you ever had that friend, Rob G., Alex, you might be that friend in this situation, actually. Elijah, where you're like going out to the club, you're hanging out, and they always got something to say. They always want, and they might not even be trying to be rude, but they might say, all right, look at that dude over there. That's a terrible outfit. You're like, hey, because now we might get into a fight. Hey, man, that's his girl. She ain't hot. Hey, whoa. And you feel like we might have to get into a fight or we might have to get in something because that person always talks you in or talks some stuff. That's Jerry Jones. I know his players got to be like, yo, can you just relax? Can you just chill? Can you stop putting these expectations? We know we're all right to maybe good at best. Stop making us like we're Super Bowl contenders, especially when you spun the block like an ex-girlfriend going to get Ezekiel Elliott. If that's the best you got me in the offseason, somebody we already had in CeeDee Lamb, you just gave him some money. Dak we already had, just gave him a bunch of money. And you went and got Ezekiel Elliott. Now we have the worst run, one of the worst run defenses and run offenses. That's where I agree with you. He's bad when it comes to the on-field stuff. There's no innovation there. There's no identity there with that team. What do they do? There's no identity with the Cowboys. At least if you knew, like, for instance, when you look at
Can I give you this? There's only two teams
that
haven't been to an NFC, haven't been to a conference title game since 1996. Can you name the two teams? Only two teams.
Well, clearly the Cowboys.
You know it. That's coming off the Super Bowl, right? They haven't been to an NFC. They haven't been to a conference title game since 1996. There's only two teams: the Cowboys and the horrendous Washington football team, or whatever they call them. So that should tell you what company you keep. That every other team, even the Jacksonville Jaguars,
and that was what I was thinking. But I had to think, like,
they've been there. They went to the AFC Championship game and they lost in Foxborough.
Yep.
They probably were cheated on in that game, but they lost. And my point is, this is with Jerry running the Cowboys like a mom and pop store. And all I'm saying is, if you want to give him credit and say, oh, he's done something, like, you can look at people and look at a team and say, things are bad, and somebody comes along and they fix it and they do stuff and they start signing people and they got hire football people and they make the right decisions and hire coaches and all that. Jerry just hasn't done it. And that's my point, is that with the resources, with the name, with the clout, with everything that goes with the Cowboys, they got all of these people on television, right?
Yeah.
Their former quarterbacks are all the big television analysts, Troy Aikman, who else did I just say?
Romo.
Tony Romo, all these guys. Jason Garrett.
Yep.
These are all Cowboys people. They all got all the big jobs, all this stuff, and you and Washington haven't been to a conference championship since 1996, which coincides with you getting rid of your football people and you deciding to take over. That's all I'm saying. He says it's fair, or how about you didn't even have to be a genius to know that re-signing Ezekiel Elliott was ridiculous.
When you had good to great backs available.
And he says the team's worth $10 billion. He says that he didn't have money to sign to get Derrick Henry. Really?